Julie is an NPC we meet in Crow Country. We learn that she's a lawyer, but what else do we know about her? We first encounter her in Haunted Hilltop. She's banging on the door demanding to be let in. We chat with her, and she's a tad curt with Mara. Clearly, she's a woman on a mission. After we go around through the crypt and open the door, she's a little nicer, grateful to be let in, and probably impressed that Mara made her way through so easily. But it appears her number one concern is work. She finds a good spot to lay out all the documents and paperwork, making sure it's near the elevator so Mr. Crow will see it. She asks Mara to clear off the desk for her. She then heads over to the holding cell to check it out. Above the table reads, "For the attention of Edward Crow," in bold red letters. Taking a quick look at the documents on the table, we see a newspaper reporting an incident at the theme park. Next to it, a picture of a girl. Next to that, a medical record documenting a laceration, bacterial infection, and symptoms. And finally, her business card with her full name, Julie Barron, and a tagline, "Locally feared lawsuit attorney." We talk with her in the cell. She mentions the state of it, smelling bleach and noticing it had been deep cleaned, saying that alone is a form of evidence. Clearly, Julie is quite perceptive, no doubt adding to her skills as a lawyer. Before we leave, she asks if we're looking for Edward Crow as well. Mara mentions she thinks his office is in the northeast. Julie tells her that she can get into the manor using the bell outside, helping out Mara and the player. We don't see Julie for some time, until we make our way to one of the maintenance rooms. Here, we find her locked in a crate, and she's as sassy as ever. After we help her out, she mentions some guy grabbed her and threw her in there. She didn't see his face, but mentions he had real sweaty hands. Mara mentions that it sounds like it may have been Marv. "Marvin who?" Julie asks, which Mara just plays off as thinking out loud. After this, Julie thanks Mara for helping her out twice now. She offers to help out if Mara needs anything. Sometime later, we return, and Mara mentions she could use Julie's help with the controls of a ride in the Ocean Kingdom. Julie asks if she's opened the control room yet, hinting to the player what they need to do in order to progress. She says we need the gold key, and she read a note in the Fairy Tale Kingdom by the theater detailing it. After finding the key and opening the control room door, we return to her, and she agrees to help Mara out, telling her to head to the boat ride area, and she'll head for the control room. We can chat with her behind the controls, and she strongly recommends Mara sits in the middle of the boat for balance. After climbing into the boat, we can see that Julie actually wears a captain's hat, not afraid to be a little silly, and get into any role she deems necessary. She also informs Mara of the safety risks, and asks if she's sure she wants to ride the ride. Mara agrees, and the ride starts. While on the boat, Mara bumps into a white whale, something that should have been activated manually by the controls. Julie should have done it. Something is wrong. We make our way back to the control room, only to find Julie is gone, and there's blood on the control panel. There's also a blood stain on the floor, along with Julie's glasses. What happened here? Mara thinks to herself. Thinking the worst, we continue on, and it's not until later that we see Julie again. She pops out of a vent right as Mara is being held at gunpoint, being completely unaware that she showed up just in time to save her, and also killed a man. Mara asks what happened, and once again she asks for assistance out of something. Mara and Tolman help her out of the vent, and she explains something grabbed her and dragged her backwards into the vent. She's missing her glasses, one of her shoes, and her pant legs look disheveled from the ordeal. Mara asks what grabbed her. Julie responds by telling her, whatever it is, there are several more of them hiding out in the pipes. It was too dark to see them in the vents, but she could hear them and smell them. Mara asks if they tried to kill her, and she says no. They mainly just grabbed her and shook her around while making a bunch of noise, shouting, weeping, and moaning. Mara then introduces Tolman and Julie, saying that she's a lawyer looking for Edward Crow, and that she's representing the Marshall family, Elaine Marshall's family, from the incident mentioned in the newspaper earlier. Mara also mentions that someone had been shot, an officer. Julie offered to help Tolman deal with it, saying she has experience with such things. Mara also asks if she could go check on Natalie Crow, saying that she's in Mr. Crow's office, and also Arthur out in the parking lot. Julie agrees. Julie is by far one of the most helpful NPCs to Mara, giving hints on where to go, what to find, and helping her out on a few different occasions. In fact, if it wasn't for Julie, Natalie and Arthur may have died or been left behind. Also, Mara could have been shot just like Harrison. One thing that seems clear is that Julie didn't think much of young Mara at first, but this changes. In my opinion, it seems clear that she doesn't realize Mara is actually Elaine Marshall, much like the player, and I think her demeanor towards her would have been wildly different had she known. She seems like the kind of professional who would stand by a client she believes in and would do anything to win a case. This is evident by her physically showing up at Crow's door when legal summon letters were ignored. She walked right into a possibly dangerous situation in order to find justice for her clients. After the good ending, we see that Julie was also given a cure and left Crow Country unharmed. What's next for Julie? Who knows? But she's a fun and helpful character. If you like this video, definitely check out the game, Crow Country. And if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe, like, or comment. Let me know who your favorite character is. Maybe I'll make a video on them. This is Tasty Birds. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.